Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king. That's been all. And joining us through Discord is my partner, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua, Gangsta Time Code.
It's called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris? What's good, everybody listening?
Hey, buddy, how you doing? What you reading there?
Shoha Show.
I wanted to get it out of the way early. Shoha Shoten. Solid series. But anyway, also joining us through Discord is the disembodied voice of our producer. It is Edgelord Big News Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Hey, buddies. Oh my goodness, it has been a while. We're a little late, but you know what? It's an old classic style, like how we used to do it on Thursdays. This will be a fun one. Lots of great manga stacked up. We do have World Trigger this week, so very excited. But first, let's get into plugs. You could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram. And at NY Chillin'. That's with an EN at the end, not an ING. And that's on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Brian?
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me on twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Oh, yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram as well. Follow us on Twitter especially because we do a really good chapter of the week poll for you guys to take part in. You guys can decide which one of your favorite chapters was in the magazine this week, and we will read the results on the show itself. So check us out, cast your vote. And let's get into this community shit, guys. Let's get some engagement going. What else? Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Or you can hit us up in the comments of whatever video you're watching is into Shoha Shoten.
Yeah, you know what? It's giving me Bakuman vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this might be a good one.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And it has a special place in the heart of Chris Espinal.
Yeah, we'll cover it. We'll cover it someday.
But it was Brian's most favoritist, by his words. I didn't
That's
say
literally
that.
not what I literally did not say that.
Favoritist chapter he has read to this point in his young life.
I did not say that. I literally said the second chapter is one of my favorite chapters this year. That's literally all I said.
Brian's a shy guy. I know he don't really talk too much, but he said he really, really liked the chapter, and that's what moved me to even read it. Because most of the time, I just clown shit that people, show me.
People named Christian Espinal. Whatever. Let me finish plugs before you shit all over Shoha Shoten with your sarcasm.
No, I like it, bro. I like it. I was being sarcastic about Brian's enthusiasm, but he did say it was one of the best chapters he read all year, and I thought that was kind of wild.
That's very true. He did say that.
Could be right. Could be my.
Well, what do you think of Shoha Shoten? Hit us up in the comments or email us your thoughts at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Please do that. That'll be super cool. Give us a little serotonin boost every time we get a little bit of engagement on the YouTube channel. So check us out there. Like, share, all of the things. And I think that's it. Without further ado, let's get into the show proper. Let's get started. One Piece! This is One Piece chapter 1033, Shimotsuki Kozaburo. I did it. I got through the name. I'm very excited. Josh,
man, Chris.
You wanted to open us up with something?
Yes, my theory about the front cover page story theory.
This isn't a frog. Those are penguins.
What?
Those are penguins.
Yes, they sure are. But what are them and the penguins sitting on?
Icebergs?
Ice. Who was the last person we seen Smoker talking to?
Oh, Aokiji?
He's chilling with Aokiji. No pun intended.
That's possibility. Although Aokiji is not part of the...
Why does that matter?
Aokiji's not part of the Marines anymore. He can't be chilling with him.
Yeah, but isn't there like a secret a secret thing. What sword again?
Oh, he was part of that, but he quit, didn't he? Yo, Aokiji just be quitting shit. He quit the Blackbeard Pirates. He quit.
He might have been smoking or quit.
Wait, he quit the Blackbeard Pirates? I think he was a part of them still.
I think I read, like, while I was doing research on another thing, I may have brushed up on the fact that, like, Aokiji also left the Blackbeard Pirates. But I could be wrong about it. Brian, if you want to look that up to be sure, I could be wrong.
The last I checked, he said he was affiliated with them.
Yeah, he was affiliated with them. It was in my research of another thing that I saw that. So I could be wrong. Brian looked that up, but in the meantime,
I'm looking into it right now.
Yeah, I suppose we should get the chapter started. Last we left off.
No, he's still with the Blackbeard Pirates, by the way.
Okay, cool. Then I misread that. My bad. We started off with Zoro just getting drained of his haki by Enma after hearing the samisen play of Hiyori. And he was just like, Enma! And we get like the finishing of that sentence where he says, who gave you permission to unleash your power? And Zoro's arm goes back to full strength. King takes this opportunity to attack Zoro from behind. He like pulls up in front of him directly and is like,
yeah.
And Zoro's like, what are you doing? And he stabs King in the gut, and King is just like, jackpot. And then he explodes right in front of Zoro's face. We cut then over to the pleasure hall, the left brain tower, the skull dome, with Sanji talking to Queen about King's, I guess, backstory. Queen is just like, ha ha ha, Zoro will never defeat King. That guy is a remnant of the extinct Lunarians, a monster capable of surviving in any natural environment.
You was a snitch, bro. Dry snitching for no reason. Why is he telling this nigga all of that?
Well, because
Is he
Sanji...
hoping that he'll gain favor and he'll put the suit on or something?
I mean, it's too late. He destroyed it. So
We don't see him break it. I really wish he would have crushed it like a can of soup or something, or raviolis.
yeah. No, he
That
stomped on it and
satisfying.
exploded. It would have been satisfying, but
He crushed it just like a can, like an aluminum can.
it just exploded.
Oh well. Opportunity lost.
Yeah, but in any case, he's talking about how in the distant past, the Lunarians actually were known as gods, apparently. And Sanji's like, well, if they were gods, then how would they have died out? And Queen's like, want to know? Grab a history book or keep reading One Piece to find out. But anyway, we cut back to the battle. Zoro seems to have survived the dead, like, point blank to the face explosion that he took. And he uses his, like, Deathline song attack to crack King, but it doesn't work. He does that weird...
I guess it's one of his stronger moves, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't keep track of these, man.
Yeah, he uses... King then uses that weird attack where he pulls his crown back again. I never thought we'd see that again. He's just like, Imperial.
It's a good attack, bro.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was like a one goof attack that we probably wouldn't see again. But I'm glad we did, because it's still a funny face. Anyway, he pulls it back, does the thing. Enma starts acting up again, which doesn't allow Zoro to really recover in time. He gets slashed in the side as the head goes directly through the rock, causing everybody to fall. Zoro loses tracks of his Kitetsu 3, the sword that he got back in Rogue Town. We get a little flashback, a reminder. Apparently, we're reminded that sword was made by the long nose guy from back early in the arc of Wano, the bladesmith that's been looking after Otama. I think that's her name.
Yeah, Mr. Tengu Mask.
Yeah, Mr. Tengu Mask. And
extra length on the nose.
Yeah, double length. That's double the length of Usopp's nose. He gets in the middle of his flashback. King gets a good fucking kick in on Zoro, and he drops the Wado Ichimonji, but not too far. He manages to grab it, and we get a little flashback reminder of how he got that sword. it was the sword of Kuina, his childhood rival that fell down D stairs.
Remember her? That's still funny.
That's probably one of the funniest One Piece memes I've ever heard. Is people harping on how Kuina was killed by down D stairs.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
I'm telling you, it's the curse of D.
Yeah, the will of D. That was
D.
King doesn't really let up the attacks. And as Zoro is desperately trying to just survive what's happening to him right now, he remembers back to when talking to Momonosuke about how he was told not to say Tsunachi, because apparently it was a thing he was told not to say. We finally get a flashback to something we've never seen before in Zoro's past. Apparently, way back when in his old village called Shimotsuki Village, Zoro was familiar with Kuina's grandfather, who was a former samurai of Wano.
And a brand new character.
Oh, yeah.
Aha. Oda didn't plan this one. Gotcha.
Probably not.
It's all right, though. It's all right. He's only human.
Well, yes and no. There was always this theory that that the guy who trained Zoro as a child was from Wano. So that's kind of a yes and no answer, because that guy is this guy, his son. Because Kuina is his granddaughter. So that would make this guy his son. So technically, yes and no. Could be a thing.
All right.
It could. Right. I would call it. You know what? I'll say this. It could be a nice swerve where he didn't superintend it, but he gave himself enough leeway to dodge the ass pull accusation.
He maneuvered it. I mean, if you're gonna do an ass pull, you got to do it right. And Odas are flawless because you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. It taught me that the best way to pull off an ass pull is to leave space for you to maneuver around.
Oh, I thought you meant leave for space. Wow, really?
No.
I want to hear where this is going.
No, never. No, just leave space in general in your story so you can maneuver around plot loopholes, I guess. But anyway, we meet him, the old man of the village known as Shimotsuki. He is basically a swordsmith who gave Zoro his first swords. Apparently, mostly because all he can make is just garbage, dull blades at this point. So he's use them for practice if you want.
His quality, anyway.
Yeah, for his usual quality. He starts to talk about the philosophy of swords and how they're like a kitchen knife, but for murder. Which is interesting because kitchen knives could also be used for murder. And a blacksmith hones his craft so his weapons are better at killing than any other. And he talks about how swords have their own personality and the masters have to dominate them and bend it to their will. And a lot of people who can't do that shit tend to call swords cursed, as opposed to just very strong swords that are hard to master in general.
Right.
And
the stigma. A samurai stigma.
Yeah. And he starts talking about the sword that he made when he was a young man. It was the best sword he ever made. It was so fucking nice, he gave it the name of the king who watches over hell. And that's when Zoro's like, whoa. Enma. And he starts putting stuff together. He's like, my village is named for Shimotsuki, but was it not a coincidence after all? And he remembers the legends of apparently how his home village was built by pirates. And I wish we had that in real life where we could put the math behind us. Just like...
when they used to
the quill.
Well, I was close.
You got a quill?
Yeah, I was real close. Yeah. Yeah. No, I forget that Zoro's halfway retarded and nobody else really knows his personal business like that.
This is very true. Zoro is probably...
Checks out.
Zoro's probably the one we know the least... his flashback... Usopp's too. Both of their flashbacks were less than a chapter long. So I think
That's
everybody.
why I don't remember his dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't really have a past. My past is
Right.
3
And the
pages.
Giants and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That all happened. Albath being important and his dad, all of that was all in one page,
Yeah.
right?
Imagine that.
Cool.
Now. Then
right,
Odin
thanks.
got like a volume and a half of flashback.
Well, you know, there's levels to this shit, right?
For sure. But yeah, he remembers also that Tengu Mask Man talked about how Shimotsuki Kozaburo broke the laws and left Wano over 50 years ago. So Zoro's like, whoa, everything's coming together.
Wow.
He remembers this advice that the old man gave him, which is a great blade can see into you. It chooses only the swordsman who best suits it. And he remembers what the guy from Roguetown also told him, is that like the sword chooses its wielder. And Zoro starts to like really like reminisce about what he's been doing. He's like, it came to me, it chose me, so it could test me. He said, a sword is honest and direct, not wicked. Yes, it's true. It was my strength that was lacking. And he starts to think, it's like, wow, even with so much hockey being trained away, Odin wielded you as you were light as a feather, Enma. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. To think about it like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was just no ordinary sword.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot more than just the stigma. I mean, it's draining his fucking life force.
Yeah, for real. That legend has grown so much from like back in the day when that old man from Roguetown first said it, where he was like, "Don't be careful with these swords, man." But now it's for real.
Dead ass.
Yeah. And some more ops pull up to just like try to take Zoro from behind and kill him. And all the while
Plus some
Zoro
more fodder enemies, you know.
Yeah.
Some goons.
Zoro's just thinking to himself as this is happening. He's like, how should I stabilize my hockey then? If I have to keep exuding it at this level, it'll kill me. No, that's perfect. And as the goons get closer, they get knocked out by Zoro's hockey.
Yep.
Yeah. And then King is like, I see. So you intend to be a king then. And the chapter ends with Zoro proclaiming, that's right. I've got to keep my promise to my captain and my best friend. RGC? Can you guys say that? Certified really good chapter?
Yeah, I'm RGCing this one.
Oh. Wow, I'm genuinely surprised.
What? I mean, it's okay if it's not yours.
Not my RGC. I'm sorry. Damn, wow. You know what? It always goes. I knew you would vote for this. And I thought Brian would be like, as much as he would love to. All right. It's not. It's just not my RGC.
That's fair. Hey, that's fair.
But it's second place. If that means anything.
It does mean something.
I just want to claim this. I went back a few episodes and listened to a couple episodes to try to find out when we were talking about this. And I just want to be clear on something. Okay? Technically speaking, Brian called this. However,
we also called it.
We all, that's what I was gonna say. It was another one of those things where it was kind of like towards the end of the conversation, we all pretty much agreed that it has everything to do with the sword and that, like that, you know, whether he's gonna have Conqueror's hockey at all, it was going to be through the sword one way or another. Whether it was only in the sword or it was going to come out of him, but you know, Brian was the one that said it's in Zoro, and I guess the guy that made that YouTube video showing all those weirdo instances with the black bolts showing in the anime.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, I guess that gives credence to that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So I thought they were reaching. I thought it was just artistic stuff, but no, it's sharp details.
No, yeah, the lightning has always been like hockey to a degree.
Right.
But Brian, what were you gonna say?
No, Conqueror's hockey specifically.
I was thinking when I read this chapter, when I was thinking about it, I was like, why did it take so long for Zoro to like really accept this? And I was thinking about like Zoro's character, right? Like when you think about it, no, like Zoro has always been a mature guy. Like he's always been like putting Luffy and his dream ahead of his own. You know, like ever since his fight with Mihawk, it's not very often that you hear Zoro bring up that he's going to be the best swordsman in the world, right? But you would more than likely hear him bring up Luffy's going to be the king of the pirates. Like almost every time. Everything that Zoro does is in service to that dream. And he was always putting himself behind Luffy. But I felt like this moment was a moment where he finally accepted that sometimes he has to put himself ahead of Luffy's dream in order for that dream to come true. So this was him finally accepting like his role and like his dream as a whole, like, and that it's not just an impossibility anymore. Like he could actually become the king of the swordsmen.
I agree with this. I think like that's always been the thing with Zoro is that he's always like the becoming the world's greatest swordsman was always his dream, but now it's also a secondary thing that his being the world's greatest swordsman will be a great help of Luffy becoming king of the pirates. And that's kind of like how he looks at it ever since, like, even when, like, back in the day, we get this little flashback panel of Luffy saying when they first met. And I remember this panel, like, when it originally popped up when they first met, after Zoro said that if I can't be the king of the world's greatest swordsman, if your dream gets in the way of mine, I'll make you kill yourself. And Luffy's like, yeah, no, of course. I mean, you know, I'm going to be king of the pirates. It only makes sense to have the best swordsman on my crew.
Right.
But now it is more highlighted that Zoro is making it not necessarily like that attitude of, oh, Luffy's dream better not get in the way of mine, to my dream is going to inform Luffy's, or I guess help along Luffy's dream. It's pretty cool. I also wanted to add it in before anything else. There's this panel where Zoro has the two swords and the clouds and the lightning are popping out of it. And I'm like, why didn't we get a bigger panel of that? That shit looks so fucking
Yeah. Probably the next chapter.
Probably the next chapter.
Like, probably the opening for it.
Oh my God.
This was hype enough. Like, it's kind of just like, it was enough. It was enough for us to even just see these guys get knocked out.
Yeah.
That was guys, it's here.
Give me a 2-page spread of Zoro with the 3 swords with the smoke
and
thing.
Oh my God!
I'll fucking frame that shit.
And
I'll frame that.
And to add more to it, it looks like it's not even like your regular Conqueror's Haki. That shit is advanced. Like it looks like he's already infusing it with Enma and all the other swords at the end of the chapter too.
Yeah.
So it seems like Enma is a sword that relies on Conquerors to function properly.
Yeah.
Which explains why when Zoro attacked Kaido with it before, he was like, yo, you got Conquerors, bro? And Zoro's like, fuck you talking about, motherfucker?
Which is, that was the exact episode when we were saying, you know, it could just be like the essence of Odin that he felt, but you could only use it if you have, that was what we were saying, right? Like that, like, you know, that might have been Zoro's Haki he felt, but maybe it was really Odin's. But you could only use something like that if you do have the ability to use it or have that potential. So it's a hand-in-hand kind of thing, the way I see it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because he said it was familiar, you know? There's a reason. He got cut by that sword before, but felt it more than just the metal. He felt Odin's spirit.
Oh, yeah.
But that spirit is also similar to whatever Zoro's exuding. And, you know, yeah, I think this is something different. I think it's just, I don't think it's something advanced as far as like a specific technique. I just think it's Zoro's expression, you know, like physical manifestation of the Conqueror's Haki that maybe just looks a little different because it's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Conqueror's Haki. I don't watch the anime, but I imagine it looks pretty different. You know, when people are like using it in their techniques and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot like this. You know, the black lightning. All that stuff. They translated that to the anime as well. I
wanted to highlight this. Something that I thought was kind of low key that like I started thinking about after I got over the hype that Zoro was confirmed to have Conqueror's Haki was I want to say the underrated journey of his growth, and you guys were kind of already like rushing like all over it, like as far as like how he feels about the captain and putting his aligning his like learning that he can align his dream.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying, with his captains, and that they can both mutually benefit and have success. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I feel like that's something that Zoro always kind of understood, but to me, Zoro was always mature in a way that, like, I felt like he understood the weight of life.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And he respected life, and he respected, like, learning and bettering yourself. And that's why that's a big reason he respected Luffy, because, he was about his shit. He's not a liar. He was someone that wanted to bring change to the world in his own way. And it takes someone with, a certain level of maturity to see something like that and appreciate it and be moved to the point that you go on a fucking trip around the world with this guy, and saying like, yeah, we're going to do this together. That takes some could say that's immature, I guess, to just kind of go on a whim, but he didn't really have much going for him on that island anyway. And like we all said, Zoro did have his own motivations anyway.
Mhm.
It was mutual. So with all of that said, the reason why I say, like, when I mentioned his subtle growth, I feel like a lot of the growth came in learning through his experiences. Because even though he had that kind of sage understanding almost of maybe life or whatever, leaving the island, he was still put in a whole lot of situations where he had to test himself, and in more than one, not just physical or combat, but like helping out his teammates, trying to make a decision on, like, who to save and what to do, like with the varying townspeople. All of this was built up, in my opinion, to this moment, which is like, I don't know, maybe it may seem like it's not that big, but him understanding that, like, he is a king, that he is a leader, and because that's what I'm getting from this. That's what I'm getting from this situation. Because why he says, so you intend to be a king then, unless like the translation is really weird or different. I think he's almost asking him like, oh, like, I thought you were just like his second in command, like, what's this going on? And that was Zoro unlocking his understanding that he needs to be better, in order for him to be, I guess, like his own leader. And that still aligns. Like, maybe it's not that he shied away from it, but it was something he never thought. He just kind of kept himself in his lane. And now he's saying, nah, I can expand and do so much more. Because even when he learned more with Mihawk, that was just swordsman stuff. Stuff that he's kind of comfortable with, has been around his entire life. He's never really had to be a leader, And this is giving him more rank, in my opinion, or more, what's the word I'm looking for? Validation to being a second in command. Because honestly, if you ask me, I don't think it would have been smart for him to be second in command. I think Robin would have made a better leader, or Jinbei at this point, if Luffy was to go down. Now, after seeing something like this, he doesn't have to be this huge communicator. He just has to be someone that understands they have to make certain decisions, and this is what that's all about, man.
Yeah, no,
in my opinion,
I definitely agree with you. I mean,
it's within the context of what they're saying. That's just
yeah. That's a lot to pull from, like, these little things, and I think that's exactly what they're trying to say. That Zoro is just coming into his own. There is something to be said.
More than just a fighter.
Yeah. As a person,
and as Luffy's friend. As a true leader, and as a man, as a grown up. When I say man, I mean, as someone that you get it.
Yeah,
a true, mature, complete adult.
Yeah, fun fact, Zoro's older than Luffy by about 2 years.
That's dope.
He's followed Luffy. Luffy is technically, like, Oda has kind of ordered the Straw Hats into, like, a family dynamic. Luffy would be, like, the second youngest. And Chopper would obviously be the youngest, or Zoro being the oldest son. And it's
Sanji's second, you said, right?
Sanji's the second son, yeah. Nami's, I think, like, Nami's either before or after Usopp. Usopp is the third son, Luffy's fourth, Chopper's fifth, and I think Nami is between Usopp and Sanji. Jinbei, I don't know where he lands.
He's
because
the dad?
No, Frankie's the dad. Frankie's the dad, Robin's the mom, Brooke is the grandpa.
Wow.
And I guess Jinbei would be cool ass uncle.
Yeah.
He's got cool uncle
Jinbei.
energy. He's got cool uncle energy for sure.
Yo, he does.
But back to
He does. I didn't know it till this day. He sure does.
yeah, I don't want to overstate what you were saying because you said it beautifully. So
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I will say this though. I mean, like I think like Luffy and Zoro probably the most iconic duo in anime manga ever. I mean, I don't know. Name a more iconic.
They need to get a true tag team fight, not a little,
Oh my god.
4-way against 2. They need a true, dedicated. It doesn't even have to be a 2-on-2. It could be some niggas jumping somebody. I don't give a fuck. They could jump
Jujutsu
category.
Jujutsu Kaisen style.
Smoke and he could get it, yo.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen style. Just jump them unfairly.
Just fuck that nigga, yo. Just beat somebody's ass. Like, and it's not easy at first, but when they finally get, get to the victory, just wash that nigga.
Yeah.
Coordinated.
Zoro.
Slice and dice and then tenderize.
Zoro abandons his swords and just curb stomps with Luffy. He just throws
Stomp him in the nuts.
Yeah.
From Gangsta-licious. No, not Gangsta-licious. From Thugnificent out of Boondocks is playing in the background. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Deep cut.
Only in our dreams, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Hope you're listening, Oda.
I mean,
Oda, listen.
You got at least 5 years of story left, dude. You can make a Zoro Luffy tag team in that time, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Yo, like they just continue to add lore with more chapters, and I'm like, there's
How long
way.
was Dressrosa again? 2 years by
Dressrosa,
itself?
Wano was 2 years. Dressrosa was like a year and change. Wano's 2 years by now. But anyway, I guess we should move on. We've talked enough about One Piece. Oh, by the way,
we did enough about One Piece.
I'm sorry. This was also the audience really good chapter of the week.
Yeah, I peeped.
So
I got there too late to vote.
I'll give it a unified because it's me, Brian, and the audience.
You can't give it that. That's not how it works.
I don't have a harmonic one.
It's not a harmonic. I didn't agree with it either. All 4 of us has to agree with it to be harmonic. You better hold it down. I'm sorry, bro.
Fine. You're right. Hey.
It's not my fault.
I just really like the drop that I made for it. But
I know we're gonna get it. It's gonna.
You're
happen.
right.
Damn, it should have happened today, but I'm sorry.
I'll give it the regular.
Certified RGC. Certified.
It's okay.
RGC.
It's okay.
Certified.
Wow, I'm genuinely surprised.
Hey, first of all, thank you for being the Zoro to my Luffy and holding me back, and being the mature one.
It's okay, man.
I appreciate it.
What are friends for, right?
Right. All right, let's go. My Hero Academia.
All I'm gonna say first is whoa, whoa, whoa.
This is My Hero
You want to
Academia.
talk about people listening? Authors listening potentially to New Jump City podcast? Maybe with a translation right next to them, like, oh, they're saying such and such and such and such.
Or literally just everybody who ever reads My Hero Academia, I guess.
Well, I live under a rock, so.
This is My Hero Academia, chapter 335, Zygotes. The cover page is All Might holding an egg, and just be like,
Imagine the egg in the microwave. Remember that?
Hey, Deepool, you do remember old My Hero.
I've been watching the anime.
Oh, yeah,
with
you
Nikki.
have been.
It's been like a week, though, since we watched it, but we'll get back to it.
Hell yeah.
Making me appreciate the series a lot more, I'm not gonna lie. NGL.
Last we left off, All Might has just announced that since the passing of Star and Stripe, her sacrifice has allowed them a couple extra days of training. It used to be like literally the next day Shigaraki was going to be ready to go, but now they got 6 more days basically.
I'm just gonna say this now to get it out the way, so I can make room for what I want to talk about earlier. I'm still tight about this. These are all arbitrary time constraints that had nothing. You know what? I better be having my foot in my mouth in a few chapters down in the future, because this all this timetable moving and rescheduling, and it's really this, but it's really that. This better play into the story somehow. Like, oh yeah, we tricked y'all into thinking it was this time, or yeah, I don't know, bro. There better be something deep here because, bro, what the fuck is this? Is he changing his mind? Is he like, oh, okay, actually, let's wait.
Here's
Give
the
him a
thing.
couple days. Like, bro, what's the fucking point?
I
Why?
don't think he's changing his mind, but I think the arbitrary scheduling and rescheduling is kind of annoying as well. I'm like,
because it's in his head. Like, it's not real.
It's like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can decide whenever you want.
He's worrying too much about like plot holes or something. I don't know what it is. He's like on some Jujutsu Kaisen shit, but weird. It's really weird with time.
Yeah,
I don't know why he's doing this.
It is bizarre.
That is literally my only criticism of this entire chapter.
Because we've done this before, where it was supposed to be like we've got 3 days.
Fourth time.
We got like 3 days, and then it was like, oh no, he's already here, and then it was like, oh no, we got 3 days, and then it was like, oh no, now we have a week.
It was like a few months.
Yeah, it was a few months.
It was a week.
Then it was now.
3 days.
Then it was
right now. And now it's back to 3 days. And that's excluding the stuff they were talking about back to Dirty Boy was running around the city. When they was talking about, oh, they're making plans soon, and they was talking about, oh, we're going to meet up with the heroes and versus them.
Yeah, it's very weird. But here's where I'll say this is Horikoshi also being like, well, just because it's a week, here's why it might last more than maybe 2 years, maybe, kind of. We learned that as Shigaraki is recovering, there's massive civilian evacuation efforts, and all remaining heroes are hunting for villains. So eventually, all-out war is inevitable. Here's what you're up against. Here are the things that Here are the things that need to happen before the story can end.
Number one.
First things first, Shigaraki's around. We don't know really what his deal is, but, All For One's in him. Then we also have All For One, the main body.
Himself, Old Raisin Boy.
Old Raisin Man.
Yep, he's still a threat, but, not that big of a deal.
Mr. Greedy Lima Bean Man. He's chilling out there still.
Memes.
There's Dobby, who is...
Emo Dobby.
Yeah, he's just chilling, drinking his haterade for now, but we still got to deal with him. We have Himiko Toga still out there, and there's 6 remaining high-ends, near high-ends, I mean, and the remnants of the Liberation Front, however many of those there are. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shown villains with designs that we might have to deal with at least. That might be an arc in and of themselves because they are drawn. Horikoshi put effort into their designs, so they might actually be characters.
So, and to me, the biggest thing was the Nomos.
Yes.
Them actually being clear about how many are left and that they are high and that they are obviously on the same issue level as the one that fucked up Endeavor and Hawks.
Yeah.
Because I still remember that, and I still remember, like, in my mind, if that same Nomu was the guard on the loose, I don't see anybody stopping that shit outside of, I guess, Deku.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe maybe I think you lose probably, but whatever. And so they are still a big deal.
Yeah,
but it's smarter that he's keeping them in because you don't want to lose any of them because they are that. It's smart. I get it. I just wanted clarity on the matter, and that's exactly what he gave us. And thank you for taking a page out of Kirkman's book. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
There's more. Also, there's also the escaped convicts that All For One broke out. So whoever knows how many of them.
Even though they took out the coolest one already in a show of Midoriya's strength.
Yeah. There's also, as the Tentacle Kid points out, there are likely more allies if Horikoshi feels like it. If he feels like adding more characters. Who knows when this series might end? So maybe it might be more than just 2 years. There's a lot going on. A lot has to happen.
Yeah, I hope so, bro.
I still think we also are probably going to get a more comprehensive flashback for All For One for All and All For One. That's going to happen.
And hopefully that'll take a long time, like the Odin flashback.
Yeah, on top of that, there are other character flashbacks like Shoji, who, the Tentacle Kid. Well, I don't know why he wears a mask. That's important. They pointed that out.
Aside from maybe being a Kakashi fan.
Kakashi?
Yeah, Naruto might be a manga in that universe. Why not?
No, for sure. Yeah, there's like assorted character flashbacks that need to happen, and character.
Oh, especially one in particular.
Are you talking about Ojiro?
No. No. And it's funny you even bring him up because like they tried to show the low key, oh look, he's getting ripped. And it's like look at his character growth. It's like whatever, man.
Look at his abs.
I can get ripped too, my nigga. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's also like half of the characters.
What does your tail do? Does your tail shoot rockets now or something?
Does your tail have abs? It's like half of the children in the show have abs already. This is not impressive, Ojiro. Mineta's probably.
I like how some of the kids look different out of nowhere. Like, oh, they're right. Time skip outfits. Like, when did this happen? When did this girl start wearing her hair like that?
I think it's just because she's inside, just vibing. I think these are just like a combination of like being kind of comfortable because they're home and still having their hero suits on.
Yeah, these neck up ones. They're all wearing it. I don't love it, but whatever.
Bakugo had that. That was like a thing when he started training with Endeavor. That like the neck up thing because it was like winter.
A few of them have it.
Yeah, some of them got upgrades because of the winter, and Bakugo's in particular. I remember he had like a winter. This is his winter version of his costume. But anyway, they're all just talking about how they've been getting stronger and they've been training, and they have a week to train more. And Midoriya talks about how everyone has agreed to help Midoriya complete All for One and spar with him. But Bakugo, of course, is like, I'm not just doing it for All for One. I'm doing it so I can get stronger as well and test my own strength. Todoroki says the same thing, but just like with 2 words, just saying, that's right. Yeah.
Don't forget, I'm still cool.
I'm still rad. Kirishima comes out and is like, hey, don't forget to beat me up so my skin can harden even more as the series progresses. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. That's cool. I forgot
that his work kind of works that way.
I like Kirishima. So yeah. All Might is just
even though he peaked too early. He peaked in high school, bro.
No, dude. No, he didn't peak.
He peaked in that one arc that was kind of whack. Their fight was the best part of that entire arc.
I'll say that. I will agree with that.
Unanimously.
I don't
definitely
know.
Wasn't Deku at 100% because of this little girl in the back.
I will say this.
I don't know about Zero strategy, just punching away at Overhaul.
I'll be honest.
Oh God, I'm gonna go back and read that fight and tear it apart again.
You're gonna watch it in the anime.
I'm so confident that it was bad.
You're gonna watch it in the anime.
That it was bad.
You're gonna get to it in the anime eventually. I didn't even pick up what you said there.
I'm Super Saiyan Blue. And skipping all the training and development and going straight to 100%.
Only for temporary. He can't do it on his own.
All right, I'm gonna relax. I know, but it was lame.
I'll say this.
I the nigga with strategy and new techniques. What the fuck is that? Punchy. That shit was Dragon Ball Z, bro.
I didn't hate it.
Overhaul to.
I get what you're saying, but I'm not like
fucking sandbender.
That's true. Look, I'm not all about. I'm not like sure about saying the Overhaul arc was whack, but I will say that Kirishima's fight was by far the best part of it.
That arc gets a W for whack.
Doesn't even get an L for loss. That was a misleading.
W for whack.
That was a misleading one.
But that fight was awesome.
Oh, dude, one of my favorite the
shield and the spear.
The pure shonen moment, like one of my favorites of all time. When Fat Gum was like, haha, I'm actually skinning you. Here's my cool ass punch. I took all your attacks. And I'm like, there's so much shonen I almost died.
Yo, yeah, that was incredible.
It's too much shonen packed in one moment.
He did the Choji.
No, yeah, that was like the Choji, man.
It was.
Yeah. All right. So the kids continue on doing the Nakama thing. It's just like, yeah, friendship, bad. We're gonna train, blah, get stronger.
We won't get trained or not, but it's cool.
Yeah.
And they was already training, like they said.
And we cut back to All for One's hideout, which I like to call Haters Cove.
Yeah. Jealous People Incorporated. JPI.
as Shigaraki is convulsing on the floor with pure hatred. I don't think I've ever hated anything this much. To be like, I hate everything so much.
You know what's crazy? I had to watch the anime again to realize that Shigaraki really does hate All Might. That's where it started. He hated All Might.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a weird reason. It wasn't really that like concrete in my opinion, but you know, I had to remember that. I was like, why is he so mad at All Might? This girl is the one that violated you, and all you think about is Midoriya nowadays.
Yeah. So yeah, he's convulsing on the floor. All for One is in the background, like, calm down.
But smiling still like, yes, he's growing into me too.
Good.
It's so weird, yo.
Let the hate float through you. Good.
Our minds are fusing.
Hey, I'm fusing my mind with this 17-year-old boy.
It's so weird because he knows that like that's not going to be him. And the funny thing is, he's actually like cloning himself, and he's going to die.
Yeah,
but himself is still going to live on. That's totally different from reviving yourself. I'm not going to lie; it takes some real balls.
Yeah,
to do some shit like that.
I mean, honestly,
it's all purely philosophical. He is going to die and cease to exist.
Yeah,
there's no getting around that. Like
hey.
He's not transferring his mind anymore. Shigaraki is becoming an amalgamation of I truly understand what's going on now.
Yeah, exactly.
And All for One will perish, and he's okay with that, yo. Unlike Emperor Palpatine, who no way, there's no way he was giving up. No. Yeah. That was iconic, bro.
This is the saltiest old man on the planet going, no.
Then he's just lightning. No, well, that was before that. When Anakin ran, he started shooting the lightning. What a bitch, bro.
Yo, fucking Palpatine sucks, dude.
Yeah, I didn't see the newer Star Wars, so I heard he was dealt with, but he wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I don't know. I guess I'll find out one day.
Yeah. So Orochimaru, I mean, All for One is like, time for me to fulfill the old villain trope of merging with a younger boy. And he's talking about how, like, no sense dwelling on a single foiled plot. Calm down. And he looks over to Dabi. He's like, hey, Dabi, I'm going to need you to, like, chill for a little bit longer. And Dabi's like, no, I want to kill my father.
I just said, nah, screw that. And I think it took everything in All for One's will, what remains of him, to not hover over there and smack the shit out of him. Because, you know, he's like, Toya. Listen, let me educate you to something real quick. All right, you gotta think about this shit in steps, okay, sad boy? Okay, dude. Mr. Emo,
dude.
Right?
I love that visual of All for I love that visual of All for One hovering over silently and then just smacking the shit out of Toya. You do what I say,
little boy. Speak out of turn again.
Yeah, and he talks about, my dear Toya, you know what the difference between you and me is? I am Aizen, and I plan out every little possible thing ever, so my ass is covered for any future things that may happen in this story.
It's quite foolproof, actually.
I mean, you know, that's the one thing that Aizen never did. He never claimed up front, up top, that, like, I planned literally everything.
Well, he says that this right now that's going on,
up here, me. Hey,
this is all according to mine.
I've been sitting on life support for 20 years. I had nothing to do but think of plans. So, you know, take that.
What?
And he talks about how, I weave plot years or even decades prior so that I may employ a viable route when the time comes, a route that inevitably achieves my ends. Now the advent of my perfected vessel is delayed, and Yue has welcomed Izuku Midoriya back into its sturdy walls. But what I have that you lack, Toya, are friends to spare. And the chapter ends with a big final page of the invisible girl being outed as All for One's spy on the inside.
Whoa, that's not confirmed. He just said that she's his friend.
Oh, you're right, Brian. Never mind.
So let me tell you this, bro. When I tell you, okay, RGC, by the way, we're at the end of the chapter. I can say it, right?
Certified
RGC.
RGC.
Guys,
Certified
all right, so I wasn't being. I guess that's the problem with always being sarcastic is that sometimes you don't know when I'm being serious.
It's a dangerous
But
weapon.
I really meant that I was surprised with Brian because this was a very well built chapter. Literally, except for the whole timing thing in the beginning, I really feel like he knew that he was doing too much. And literally made. I feel like he made these decisions literally during the start fight. I think he just was like, I need to take my fucking breath. You know?
I need to relax.
Maybe I can do more stuff like this where I don't even have to write and just make big cool scenes and people will eat it up. Guess what? We will. That's why we like the series in the first place, because of that stuff. It never was the most complex story. Did we ever claim that it was the most deep and complex story with an awesome plot?
I don't think we did.
Nope, not one of us.
Not
even
canonically.
Brian, the biggest fan. You know what I'm saying? But what we all loved was the characters and the potential we was going to see in the fights and stuff. You know, that's what we want to see. But anyway, yeah, well built chapter. It makes total sense. Obviously, that the Invisible Girl is the traitor, but
Trey.
you know, we never got a backstory from her, and something tells me that it's going to be way deeper than we think. So I don't look at this with sadness. In all seriousness, I didn't really think that 11 would be the bad guy, but I thought it would have been so sick to be able to call that
It would have been
those
sick.
obscurity. Hey. I thought, hey, who else knew? But obviously, the Invisible Girl didn't. So,
Yeah.
And I knew it wasn't the mouse either. He was kind of concrete, but it was funny cracking jokes about it.
Yeah, it was funny to theorize.
What this chapter did for me was make me incredibly hopeful for the future, and that was the best I could ask for out of a My Hero Academia chapter at this moment. And for that, it beat out Zoro unlocking his Conqueror's Haki. But I bet you whatever My Hero does next won't beat out him actually fighting with said Conqueror's Haki. So,
yeah,
be fair. Why don't we go around the room and share thoughts before I get into some more thoughts?
Yeah, I have.
I would have given it to Zoro. I would have given it to this chapter if I wasn't such a Zoro simp.
Yeah.
You are, Brian.
Hey, I'm also a Zoro simp. So
now.
We are all Zoro simps up here.
I'm
clearly not.
In general, I like all that guys. No,
clearly, you wouldn't give an RGC just off the actual prospect of Zoro going like.
I wasn't that surprised that Zoro got Conqueror's Haki, but I respected the writing and the years and years of development that led to this moment, making it be more than just this cool new power thing. It being this real rite of passage type of situation.
No, for sure.
One Piece spent a lot of chapter and time really beefing up the whole prospect of what Conqueror's Haki is and what it represents. Mm-hmm. It's more than just combat.
Yeah.
It's just, but it does assist you in combat, and that's what being in. Anyway, we're not talking about One Piece anymore.
Yeah.
You guys have thoughts about My Hero.
Yeah, okay. Brian, do you want to go first?
I think this chapter was really. I was a little underwhelmed by the idea of it being the Invisible Girl because it was kind of expected, I guess. A lot of people were theorizing when those theories were going around about who the traitor is. They were like, "Oh, it's the Invisible Girl, right? Of course it is, because she's invisible."
Yeah.
And then it just turns out that she actually is the traitor, but
okay,
we hardly know enough about her for this to really be hard hitting at all.
Yeah.
And it was kind of soft blown anyway because pretty much everybody expected it. The only time people wanted it to be somebody else was because it would be more interesting if it was like Kaminari or something. But maybe, I don't know. Who knows what they're going to do with her character? Maybe they're going to flesh it out. Maybe she has her reasons for being an informant. Maybe this is something that Deku has to help her with. Maybe she doesn't want to be evil, but she has no choice.
There's a lot. There's a lot of mystery surrounding the why.
Yeah, there's a lot of avenues to go with this.
Yeah.
Right. So it kind of helps with the whole obvious thing,
Mm-hmm.
It helps that we still kind of don't know. It may be obvious because of characteristics, or the lack thereof story we've seen from her. But you could say that about a lot of the other characters, and we're gonna learn a lot about her. There's a reason she went to My Hero Academia and still chose to betray people.
Yeah.
So that's just me responding to Brian's thoughts. Anything on your mind, Chris?
Yes. Okay, so her name is Hagakure. So Hagakure being the traitor.
Hagakure.
I really thought of a lot of things. Brian mirrored. I'm gonna echo a little bit about what Brian said. First things first. I think we all I feel like every single person who read My Hero Academia, when the prospect of a traitor was announced, the first suspect number one, Hagakure. We were like, right. Invisible girl. We don't know anything about her. It's Hagakure. But then we were like, well, Horikoshi's not just going to give us option number one, is he? So I think that's why everybody, even
after hearing everybody, he'd change it, right?
Yeah. He heard everyone in unison go, Hagakure. And he's like,
you think Horikoshi, that's why it took so long to announce it? Is because he's like, oh shit, they all know. He's like, fuck.
Or it was obvious, but it doesn't matter because like I was mentioning, there probably is so much more to the reasons, and that's kind of what Horikoshi's been on real heavy recently. That people make the decisions that they do because of whatever circumstances.
Yeah,
could be a little bit more detailed for my
agree.
taste, but whatever.
Yeah, it is the obviousness that we were all going with these crazy theories because we were thinking what if it's not? If it is too obvious, and maybe that's the perfect red herring, is that it was just such the obvious choice that nobody would expect it in the end. But my whole thing is also what Brian said, is that we don't know a lot about Hagakure, and that may be a mechanic of the story. And man, Horikoshi better feel like he's had enough practice in enamoring us with characters that haven't been much of a factor for very much of the character, because he is honestly kind of really good at it. We saw it for the first time actually with Gentle Criminal. He's only been in the story for that handful of chapters. What was it, 10 chapters?
And he was one of the most impactful.
Exactly.
I still remember the stuff he talked about.
Yeah,
and it was awkward. It was cool though.
Yeah, one of my favorite fights.
Trying to make
probably my favorite fight in all of My Hero Academia was Midoriya versus Gentle Criminal, and then he did it again with Star and Stripe recently. So, if there's anybody who can kind of
total opposite of the overhaul fight,
exactly. If there's anything that we can trust Horikoshi with, is the idea that he'll fill in details that really enamor us with a character after the fact, even if we haven't spent a lot of time with them. Another thing I did have in mind, I should have written it down because now I don't know why I'm blanking it. But on that subject, I forgot.
When was the last time we saw?
It'll come back to me if you guys want to go for it.
She was actually outside with everybody when they was like, oh, we don't want Midoriya back, and when everyone was freaking the fuck out and reverting to toddlerhood. She was there. She was out there listening. You could see her gloves and boots, I think, but she had a jacket on, maybe a something like that. She was there.
Yeah.
But she never. The answer to has she ever had any kind of spotlight is never. I mean, I didn't go out of my way to count, but off the top of my head, most of the main characters had something. Yao Yuruzu, the wing guy with the ears. He had his little moment with Midoriya when he was out in the woods when he was dealing with Tokoyami. It wasn't much, but it was enough to get exactly who he was and an understanding, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He never did that with her at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what? She's not the only person he's never really done that with. And this is kind of what I wanted to talk about, right?
Oh my God.
I think this is one of those situations where we have to pay attention to what the actual words, and I don't think this is a reach. He said friends with an S at the end. I don't think that was a coincidence, and I do think Kaminari is not only a traitor. I think that there's more than just those two that are traitors. Yeah. So, and only because it doesn't make sense that they could get so much of the information that they did out of just her, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of what had to happen had to be coordinated, and it's not like All For One to put all his trust in just this single person in something that's such a big deal as the school.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm kind of just talking out of my ass with a lot of this stuff, but I'd be lying if I said I had any other concrete proof. It's really just a feeling.
Hey.
And I just don't, I don't want anyone to be caught off guard. I want y'all to keep that in mind. Like, it's so we could maybe pay attention to some signs and clues. This could be a red herring in of itself.
Yeah.
That was the ultimate punchline, that this could still be him, like, trying to okie doke us. Because she may be the traitor very well, but she may not be the true malicious one. Maybe she's having feelings and is going back and forth about it. You know what I'm saying? And then there's this real cold-blooded, like, yeah, I've been fake this whole time. Sorry. Blang, blang. You know?
No, dude.
I think that would be fucking epic. And I won't be disappointed if that's not the case, but it's just a theory of mine.
Hey, I'll take it, too. I think that's like...
So many signs still point to Kaminari. And, like, come on, he's just throwing her out there, not with this reveal. He's gonna... There's no way he's giving that up. There's no way he's giving up a big reveal like that.
There's got to be something more.
There's more. There's way more to it. This has to be. That's why I gave this my RGC, because, man, for the first time in a while, I was thinking about this shit after the fact and not just being mad, like thinking anything negative, just like, wow, I wonder where it's going to go. It just gave me brought me back to some of the old vibes.
No, I agree.
That was clever.
Yeah, that's a really cool prospect. The thing is that we've just been focused on the singular traitor. You're right. It could be very well more than one.
Yeah, there is some... I have friends to spin. He works in units.
There is some mystery behind a couple people. Like when it comes to Laser Beam Boy, Belly Button Laser Beam Boy.
Aoyama?
Aoyama. There is a possibility that he got his quirk from All For One.
What about Class 1B?
Who knows?
Right? Not every kid is guaranteed to make it into Class 1A. Wouldn't it be smarter to have a kid in each class or something like that? You know what I'm saying? If you can.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, my God.
Speculation.
Yeah.
But those are all my thoughts on My Hero. I'm ready to move on. I don't know about you guys. But like I said, RGC.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Did I give it to it? Or did I... Oh, I get
it. Yeah, I believe you did.
Yeah, fantastic chapter. I mean, very close. Unfortunately, we are Zoro simps.
Very close. We
are Zoro simps, so we will always side with the Zoro chapter. But I think that's it for me too. Brian, are you all set?
Yeah.
All right, and let's move on. Black Clover. This is Black Clover, chapter 315, Ultra Giant Showdown. Well, it is what it is. It is what it says it is. It is an Ultra Giant showdown. The Black Bulls headquarters has taken on some more stuff and has become a giant Black Bulls mech, down to the Power Rangers style stations that are inside of the Black Bulls headquarters right now. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going along with this. And yeah, they're basically doing Power Rangers right now. It's the Megazord.
Jojo, you can't put it any better.
Yeah, it's the Megazord versus the Monster of the Week. Fucking shit up. Noct is down there somewhere. Just chilling because I guess he's not part of the Black Bulls.
No, he's not.
He's not cool enough to ride in the Megazord.
This shit is dead ass like a Megazord, but they're all in the same room.
Yeah, it moves blocky like one too. You know, like there has to be a guy in there, like. Ah!
I actually was over the age of 20 when I found out that those scenes with the Megazord was just someone in a costume, and they was like, fighting against another person that was a regular human with a costume on, and they was like on a small plane, like with mountains. I didn't know, bro. I didn't put that together.
It's stuff you don't think about, you know. You don't even like put that together as an adult. You're just like, no, that was a giant robot.
It's definitely a giant robot. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's crazy how they were able to destroy Japan over and over again and not get in any kind of trouble for it. But wow.
I mean, that's what happens when you lit.
Yeah, that is what happens when you lit.
Anyway.
Yeah, so giant Megazord fight. The fist of the Black Bull's headquarters crumbles at the giant robot thing.
He's using too much gravity magic, which, all
right.
It is one of the 4 fundamental forces of nature, so, yeah.
This is true. The 4 fundamental forces of nature beats giant Zord, I guess, every time.
1 of 4, yeah. Only gravity. Gravity, electromagnetism, weak force, and strong force.
Oh, someone's a science boy. Science? Someone's a science boy.
Oh, yeah. We is hella smarts over here. Let's go.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Anyway, so, that's happening. The giant thing makes a new blob, but then it gets immediately, destroyed by Maria Leona and Fuego Leon doing their fire thing. They do this cool screw punch thing at this robot with the giant Zord, and then more cannons pop up, and they shoot more things at the giant monster. But the giant monster...
Oh, they was letting off.
Yeah, they were going off, but the giant monster gets fucking sick of this shit, and he just yells and crumbles the Black Bulls with, I guess, the gravity magic.
It just wasn't enough. He goes, like Weast. He gets Weast.
Yeah. And at the same time, it doesn't matter because all of the Black Bulls are like, it's gonna be okay. Isn't that right? And you see a sword being pulled out of a book, Yami's sword specifically. And everybody, big 2-page spread. I imagine at the same exact time are thinking the name Asta as he's loaded up with the sword in a cool-ass 2-page spread, admittedly.
Wait, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All 12 of them.
At the same time, thought the whole sentence, it's gonna be okay. Isn't that right, Asta?
You know what he's about to do, right? He's gonna send one of those big sleazy Yami slashes his way, and he's just gonna cut the monster in half, and that's gonna be that.
I think that'd be pretty fire.
To your boss.
I think that'd be pretty fire. I'll think that I'll give it a cool moment award for that.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna touch down like Dak Prescott, nigga. He's gonna send that wave, cut him in half, and kiss that up to Yami. Say good luck for the sword.
Someone's anticipating beating the Saints tonight. Someone's anticipating.
Don't say nothing. I'm recording the game right now.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, you know, bro.
Dude, what if you turn
these niggas up? That's what's happening.
What if you turn it on and then all of a sudden it's like 33 Saints, 7 Cowboys?
I'm gonna turn it off and act like I didn't see anything. And we're not going to talk about it. Or we won't be friends anymore. Deal?
All right.
Deal? Well, we all square on that?
I don't think I have much of a choice. Anyway. So, yeah, that's where the chapter ends. Big 2-page spread of Asta being Asta and all the friendship and all that. Well, it's Blackover. I
mean, it was cool.
It was cool.
I really liked the rockets coming out of the Megazord. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, what's your favorite part of this chapter?
It shot the lasers out, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah, I liked when Big Robot did the screw punch on the big monster. That was cool.
Yeah, the twister punch. Remember from Yu Yu Hakusho, the kid with the tornado hands that Urameshi fought in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, he had that's what it reminded me of, man.
Yeah.
Wow, why do I be remembering the most random shit?
Yo, according to TikTok, Yu Yu Hakusho is getting a big resurgence among the younger generation.
Say word. I gotta hop on that bandwagon, man.
Yeah.
I gotta finish. I want to watch it again, bro. I just don't have time.
Well, I'm pretty knee deep in the second work of one Togashi, Hunter x Hunter.
Poor We're gonna go through this again, aren't we?
Yeah.
Are you up to Chimera Anarch yet?
No, I'm not there yet. I think I'm still in York New City.
Yo, somebody at work was like, "Do you know about this series?" And it's from the same person that did the guy that shoots the gun from his fingers. I was like, Are you talking about Hunter x Hunter? He was like, "Yeah, man, it's really good." And I just was like, "Damn." I was like, "Bro, but he didn't finish the series yet."
Josh.
And he was like, "Yes, it is." And I realized that he was referencing the anime, which I guess kind of did have a somewhat definitive ending.
I don't know if it did. I could be wrong. I never finished it.
You reading it or watching?
I'm watching it because if it was on the Shonen Jump app, I'd read it. But
it's not.
No, weirdly enough, it's not. So Viz, get on it. I'd read it.
I'm not buying Tankobon for something that's not going to finish. They can kindly suck my dick, like for real. It's not happening.
I'm not buying Tankobon.
I had to stoop to their language, so that's to be very clear.
I
they
love
understood
it.
that.
Yeah, no, they have. What do they have instead of Hunter x Hunter? They still have Bone Collection. If you got to take down an old series that's canceled, take it down. Like you have
A Gravity Boys.
Yeah, you have A Gravity Boys. You have Dragon Ball that time I got reincarnated as Yamcha, but not Hunter x Hunter.
What? I don't even want to open that door. All right, Black Clover was dope, right, guys?
Yeah.
Got anything else to say?
You're right. I'm not.
Oh, you got something?
I'm not about to go into this whole tirade about how the Viz Shonen Jump vault is woefully under.
Viz Media, if you're listening, or any associates, put Hunter x Hunter on. We want to read it.
Hunter x Hunter,
What
Slam
if they'll
Dunk.
never finish? Let us read it.
The thing is, you could put the rest of Hitman Reborn on there. You never finished printing it.
They didn't put the rest of Hitman Reborn on there?
They didn't put any of Hitman Reborn.
They wildin'. They wildin'.
They didn't put Hitman.
Well, that's why we got other means.
Other means. Hey, we don't wanna. Listen, we support. I have bookshelves full of your manga. I want to support you guys.
Chris has bookshelves full of your manga.
Josh
guys. Come
too.
on, want to support.
Josh also.
I sometimes hold books of the manga variety for periods of time in my possession. So yes, as supporters, help us listen to us.
Yeah, help us out. Hey,
and that was Black Clover.
Anyway, yeah, let's move on, I suppose. Undead Unluck.
That's what was missing. Jujutsu Kaisen. I was like, yo, we got a full lineup.
Yeah, no, we're missing.
But we
Jujutsu Kaisen this
week.
we're
missing Jujutsu. All right.
But anyway, this is
okay though. We got time to fill that in.
Oh yeah, we do. This is Undead Unluck chapter 89, round 3. We start off with
that.
Spring. Yeah, we start off with Spring doing that same pose Josh just did. Supreme migraine, hangover, pain.
Migraine of God.
Yeah, he's just like, ah. Yeah, imagine God himself giving you a migraine. He's really going to give it to you. He's not going to give you like a regular migraine. He's going to try to split your skull open. The Spring is desperately trying to tell God, please stop making me kill people, God. And I feel like Fuko's face here is her realizing that her life is weird.
Whoa, what's like you did a whole check just there? Like, damn, is this what my life has come to?
Yeah, I don't even know what this thing is.
My boyfriend's over there naked, and this fucking weirdo's in front of me screaming to God as lightnings fall from the sky. Yeah, that's one weird situation. Speaking of naked guy, like again the subtlety of the conversation between him and Billy. Billy's coming to the point like, oh, I guess Fuko really is making a difference since God's actually interfering. And,
and Andy's just like,
Andy says it's like, yeah,
you know, isn't that funny?
Seems so. Yeah.
I didn't want to say I told you.
He's like, he's really letting Billy come to the senses himself. He's like, I ain't pushing nothing. He's saying nothing. In your face. He's like, I don't want to make him a bad guy. I want to get him on the team.
Hey. We all make mistakes.
He's doing some good damage control.
Yeah. You know he wants to be like, I told you, bitch. Don't you ever doubt my girl again.
Well, he's got his hands in pockets, but He doesn't have.
No, he doesn't. They're like, it's a perspective thing where his hands are like this. I'm trying to. It's reversed on the camera.
Oh, he's okay. Yeah, it just looks weird.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Kind of looks like his hands is in his pockets, but whatever. All right.
It does look like his hands are in his pockets. I'll grant you that. But anyway, next page happens, and then Spring, the real Spring, bursts out of his own chest and is like, "Help me, kill me!" In his little like baby Digimon form. I forget what the stage is called.
Brian, could you look up the name of the baby? The forms have names.
Yeah,
it's like
I know.
Champion,
Champion.
Ultimate. Could you look up the form where they're like in their like little chibi form?
I remember,
it's right after that.
Yeah, there's Rookie.
Maybe you'll be able to find like a chart, infographic. You know.
Yeah, there's
a visual.
Yeah, there's Rookie, Champion, Ultimate.
Yeah, right.
But
this is before Rookie.
Yeah, it's before Rookie. I just don't remember the pre-Rookie sound. What if you could look that up? The Digimon evolution chart. I guess probably you could find it. Damn, Digimon, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That was.
It was late, bro.
I just time traveled, man. I played that movie on repeat. I'm not gonna. We've talked about this, but when I was a kid, I would watch that movie.
I loved
like
the movie
crazy.
when I was younger. There was nothing wrong with it. And then you grow up and
you watch it again.
Watch YouTube videos of people eviscerating it. You know.
Oh, Team 4-Star did a really funny, like abridged version of that movie. It's really funny. It's really.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah. No,
okay.
they did. They just did a bridge.
I can't seem to find it.
There's got to be something. Hold on. No way.
Is it because it doesn't exist on the World Wide Web, or is it because of a lack for effort? I wonder.
Evolution chart. I'm going to look at it now. Here we go. Ah, man, they don't say the thing.
Imagine doubting me.
Hey, I doubt you still. Yeah. I don't see any answers. Hold on.
Is it that they're not showing anything related to it, or are they just not showing the base form before?
You get the base form. I'm looking for. I'm looking for this shit. I need to find it now.
Okay, why don't you do this? Look up Agumon evolution stages.
Evolution stages. That's probably the best one.
Yes.
Stage.
Maybe and then it'll give the names for each of them, and you'll be hopefully it'll categorize them. God damn it, man. Anyway, with Undead Unluck, ask Chris is looking this up.
Yes.
So
all I see is that they're evolving based on emotions.
I found it.
Oh, you were young, bro. Digimon's way past your time, Brian. I didn't even think about that.
What do you mean? I've watched Digimon.
Bro?
No, he has. We were watching together. But it has been a while. Brian, I will say, he was really young when we were watching it, so it's probably less in his mind than it is in mine because I was older, so I just observed more. Okay, so here are the stages. I found them. Brian. It's Fresh is the very first form. It's Baby 1. It's Fresh.
Baby 1.
In Training is Baby 2. There's Rookie, Champion, Ultimate, and Mega.
So this is In Training.
Yeah, it's In Training.
How fucking
In Training Spring.
Anticlimactic is that? That's not, we can't call it that.
I mean, I don't know what you expected.
I thought it was, I don't know, Infant. I was thinking Infant was going to be worst case scenario because it's very straightforward.
Yeah, we probably could have guessed Baby.
It was the turn. Like, the deck. So, I don't know.
I kind of want to go back.
Rookie.
I've seen that Digimon is on Netflix. I kind of want to go back and have a nostalgia.
I mean, I like the first 2 seasons a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can get into this another day. There was a lot of other cool seasons in Digimon actually, but we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Anyway, Baby Spring.
So the In Training stage.
Yeah, In Training Spring.
Of Spring. We put all that work in, so we're gonna give it the fucking name.
Yeah, it's In Training Spring.
In Training Spring
comes down, and Fuko catches.
Oh, I think he said.
Comes down, not thumbs down. No, never. And he's just like, I'm small now. You need to. Your Unluck can't attack me while the fucking brainwashing is happening because I'm probably technically not going to be me anymore because God is taking over my body. And Billy just pulls up, no nonsense. Is I'm I'm gonna shoot this baby. And he shoots twice, and then Spring is like, a very wise decision to shoot me in the face as a baby. But unfortunately, once the game is underway, your attacks can't harm me. For our last round, these dice here shall serve in our game.
Also, Young's gonna get turned into a cherry tree for interfering. Hold on.
Oh yeah, Billy.
His arm just falls off. It doesn't even like stay like as a tree attached to him. It fucking falls off.
It's just like gives up on him.
Oh,
whoa. Oh no, that's my good.
Maybe he sliced it off. Maybe somebody sliced it off before it got to the rest of his body.
It's
yeah, that's exactly what happened. You know,
the
sword.
Oh, somebody.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. I didn't see that before.
I like how casual it is. They just go.
Maybe he didn't feel it.
He's like, oh.
What about the blood coming out? Anyway, whatever. Billy's a gangster. We get it.
Yeah, I guess we get it. Anyway,
the cool manga guy.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, we're playing dice. So get ready for this.
Shooting dice. Shout out to the
Harlem Dice League.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
He said, I'll play a few rounds.
So he's like, there's not much time before you turn into cherry trees yourselves. 'Tis odd or even 50-50 chance game. Guess right, you live. Guess wrong, you die. And he says, Fuko, please excuse how ugly I am, but before this match begins, bestow upon me unluck. As Fuko gives in training Spring a little kiss on the forehead. It's actually kind of a somber moment. I was like, aw, Spring. And he gets absorbed back within his body like Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And
wow.
He's just like, Undead and Unluck, in this narrow gambling hall, I shall sit and wait. And then he turns giant. He hits his mega form, I guess.
His true third stage or whatever.
Yeah. And Billy's like, damn. If what he said was true, then he is impervious to all and any attacks.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, and then he's like, man, this city is whack. He stomps it out and it turns everything to
yeah, he just like stomps once and then the whole city's like, yeah. He's looking up like, eh. It's pretty cool. This Spring's got swag. He's just like, come get me, bitch. Let's play dice.
What up? All right, Spring. You're getting real rowdy in your ultimate form right now.
I want to play dice.
Champion ultimate, right? He skipped.
Let's fucking shoot already. And then he just keeps turning people into cherry trees and shit. And we finally get his final form. It looks pretty menacing. I like the design. Spring's design overall has been pretty sick all the way through. But yeah, Billy's just like regretting all the life choices that got him to this point where he's like, shit, never thought I'd come to this. You're dead no matter what once you open the lid. A textbook beginner's trap. This quest should have been ignored from the start.
Bro, it was your fault.
Yeah, I mean, dog, you really put us in a very disadvantageous position throughout the series.
Like, are you saying that to yourself? Or... help me out, Billy, because right now you're the one with the dickhead hat on.
Yeah.
That's you, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
You got a cap on, and on that cap it says dickhead, and on the back of it is the Eagles logo.
Oh, damn. He's coming at you. He's coming for you fucking Eagle fans.
Yeah, and in Washington, fuck you guys too. I'll never say the hard to say fuck a New York team. I'm relaxed with the Giants.
I appreciate that, dude.
Relax. Yeah. But them Saints, I'm hoping. Chris, I hope that everything that tomorrow morning before I go to work and I roll up, I'm gonna be smoking on a Saints pack. Prayers up, bro. Let's hope. Because Jason Tatum and these niggas is smoking some Cowboys. When I turn that TV on, I'm going to have a fucking attitude,
you
bro.
Say Jason Tatum?
But let's get to the next thing. Oh, did we finish?
No, we didn't finish.
We didn't finish. My bad.
Fugo's like, attacks may not work on him, but phenomena caused by unluck reach Spring. So basically, they're gonna get close to him and cause all tons of unluck shit to happen around him. Then we make a path to his core and send Fuko inside.
Yo, Billy was like, "Are you listening, Fuko? Nothing will work.
Nothing's gonna work."
No, I know what'll work. Love.
Yeah. All you
God
need is
damn,
love.
yo. That's right.
I mean, he doesn't literally say that. What they do say
No,
is
that's,
that,
I mean, you know, metaphorically.
yeah. They basically are like, look, man, I mean, you know,
He
attacks may
caught
not
feelings
work.
for the girl, and I kind of caught feelings for the boy. And that's going to put him in a whole load of mess. Just ask this nigga right here. And Undead is like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Thank God I can't die, right?
Yeah. So
You know.
basically the plan is that they're going to use all of the negator's techniques at the same time, not to directly attack Spring, but to just kind of like help aim Andy himself at Spring himself, because he'll be just like a bomb of unluck. We see this like little metaphorical thing about their plan where Rip is a full tree. He's got a tree head. I just peeped that for the first time.
That was hilarious. Yeah, I thought he turned into a tree already. I was like, no, what happened? But they were explaining that.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
So the plan is, so they use the example of Rip, that if attacks may not work on him directly, but if they put an obstruction in front of him, say like Andy, where he could use his like cool kick blade thing and slice Andy in half, and the blade will go straight to Spring. That'll work technically. And I'm like, okay, I'll buy it.
I guess. You know, I actually thought about it as you were saying it, that, you know, that is essentially how Fuko's attacks are able to hit him anyway. Because just because she's in, you know, no attack is supposed to work against anybody. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're in the... you know what? That's not true, because Spring was able to hurt Fuko during that game. So...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a
I'm gonna
one-way
stop
street.
trying to act like I understand all the rules to this.
No, I think it's a one-way street. I think Spring is able to hurt Fuko or whoever he's playing.
Well, if that's the case, then yeah, then he was able to come to that conclusion based on the nature of how she was able to harm Spring, which was indirectly.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the chapter really ends with everybody being like, "We're gonna do this all together, right, Nakama?" And all of the other negators, whether they're from under or Union, show up to help Andy out with his plan. Yeah, Billy is just on the ground already. He's already there, but everybody else shows up and is like, yeah, let's fucking go, Black Clover style. Yeah, I like this chapter quite a bit. I like the plan. I'm very interested to see where this goes. I guess they're not
the gun guy's there too.
Which gun guy? The guy that... He's the only one they like.
That was a big problem.
He was like the only guy they beat. You know, like they put the beats on.
I feel like he kind of was like, you know what? Let's just not do the
other individual
one-on-one. So I gave you one. Be happy.
Yeah, have fun with that. But yeah, that was Undead Unluck. I liked it. All right. I like the rules. It's very Black Clover-esque. I felt very optimistic and fun. I don't really have many thoughts outside of that. Do you, Josh?
No, man.
All right. Well, Undead Unluck was solid. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
It was cool. No, it was a fun chapter. I want to see how the strategy actually works.
Yeah, and will they shoot
it sounds
dice?
like a bunch of theory to me.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move onward. World Trigger.
It gets its own RGC, by the way. Separate from everything else.
You can't give it an RGC. I'll give it a chance.
I'm just saying. This would have got the RGC if I counted it towards the overall. Even better than Zoro's Awakening. Even better than...
You could give World Trigger the RGC. You just gave it to something else first.
I'm not counting as part of the week.
What are you talking
then I
about?
would accept that you guys didn't give it the RGC, and that would make me upset.
I don't think this was the RGC for me yet.
Wow, bro.
I really liked it. All right, let's
Would it kill you to be a little bit biased?
I can't. I am. In fact, the unbiased king.
Right. How juvenile of me.
I ought to sentence you to be beheaded for assuming that I could be any type of biased.
For jesting in the court.
Guards, take him away. But this is World Trigger Chapter 216, the Away Mission Test, Part 14. Last we left off, we learned the rules of the video game that they have to play, and as part of the as part of the second wave of the exam, which is the battle simulation. I'm not going to go through all the rules again, and I'm probably not going to go through the play-by-play in terms of the battles, because a lot of details happen. We get explained even more rules as time goes on. Like the use of grasshoppers to jump on buildings, and with less action tokens that it would take to just jump on buildings on your own.
Which really all it does is tell us that, grasshoppers have their own unique effect, and interact with the environment in more ways than just it being a trampoline. You know, it's also,
Yeah.
I like it. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's a cool little detail.
So,
not super important, but worth knowing.
Yeah, so basically, Suba's squad is going up against Mizukami's. And Mizukami is playing by himself against all, 4 of them right now?
Yeah, he's in control of all the characters.
Yeah. This shit is
We'll
wild.
talk about that after this battle.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'll explain the basic strategy and then whether it works or not. Basically, Suba's squad's strategy is to take advantage of Katori's combo, close quarters combo thing, which basically means that while she's fighting, if an ally attacks the same enemy unit, she gets a free attack, a free close range attack, based on the attack, on whether her ally attacks the same guy. So it's basically doubling up on an opponent without any cost to any action tokens that they have. And that's basically their plan. But unfortunately, they get motherfucked by Mizukami, who just basically does the same thing but for ranged combo, which is basically the same principle, except for he shoots guns instead of
just with a gun,
slashing.
with a shooter,
and it costs more. It's not a free attack; it's half the cost of an attack, actually. So he basically just just firing squad destroys Suba's squad, with the exception of one surviving Oki unit that's just vibing out there somewhere.
And there's 2 of each unit, and there's 4 of them, right? So it's a total of 8 characters out there. He got destroyed 7. They got destroyed 7-1 because Oki, I guess, used his character to bail out because he knew he wasn't going to win.
Yeah,
in order to save some points or whatever.
No, there was an Oki guy who, an Oki unit that lived, but that's not enough to win.
The timer ran out. Is that what it was?
No, I guess
thought he just bailed out just to not give him extra points because he knew he wasn't going to win that battle after everyone else died.
Yeah, no. If you look at the surviving units, there's only one Oki.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Oki,
he didn't bail.
Only one
and if you look at the bottom corner of that panel, you see the Oki unit that's still there. But
all right, so he won by the timeout. So you can either win by whoever has more members at the end of the time, or if you eliminate the entire team. Obviously.
Yeah, basically.
I just assumed that once all of them got obliterated and it was just Oki left, they decided that it was more strategic to bail out, like they do in the regular rank wars, just to not give other people extra points or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it's very strategic.
No, it's probably just that that's just how it happened when they ran out of time, and that nigga would have been next if there was more time.
Yeah, I mean, 8 of these units versus 1. But yeah, that was the end of 216. It was a big, strategy action chapter. I actually really liked it. I kind of had to read it in haste because it came out this morning, and we had to read it before the podcast. But I was glad I was able to understand it. I have enough time to really absorb what they were talking about, and I thought that watching this game in action was really fun.
It was really cool. It was exactly what we thought it was going to be. Pretty what I think,
Yeah.
Was it exactly what you looked at it to be?
I mean, I think Ashihara has found his second calling is just designing video games.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, I can't wait for it. A World Trigger game has to come out. It has to be like some type of strategy based, like turn based, like dynamic turn based, fighting.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's got to be something because World Trigger is like a video game, and I feel like a lot of people say that about a lot of manga. This is the first time where I've felt at my core like this is like a real video game.
No, this is straight up. I mean, from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Like, in everything they do is from a video game perspective, almost.
Yeah.
I'm going to get more into it on the next chat, but I wanted to bring this up. Brian would say that Solo Leveling was very similar to like a video game, and the actual comic itself, the main character references that, like, he makes video game references, and he's like says, "I'm leveling up," or "I need to do this," or "I make a save file." It, as much as that shit quite literally seems like it's almost like a video game he's playing, I still think World Trigger does a better job of it because it's not just someone saying that they're in a video game and like with all these RPG elements. This is like, oh no, this is the game. These are the rules to it. And he does that time after time.
Yeah,
like he's got a talent for this shit
for sure.
Creating a small story and conflict and interest within a quick rule set or lengthy, well thought out one.
Yeah, no,
very skilled.
I agree. But
so yeah.
I don't know if Brian had any thoughts on the game, but I wanted to see if he could fish him out.
Honestly, I feel like I have to read these chapters a little bit again just to really understand how the rules work. But it seems like it's better used as a single player game than a multiplayer game from what it looks like.
We could talk about it at the end. That was the point I wanted to bring up about the character that's just playing with one. Well, I'll talk later.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm glad you did bring that up, Brian.
Yeah, because it's actually immediately brought up in chapter 217, the away mission test part 15, as Mizukami is like, "Wow, it worked out just like I thought. A squad that's hungry for points will dive in and all reckless, and the strat that I use will serve them up a piping hot loss." Damn.
Bait and punish.
Yeah.
Classic.
So basically, he's like, "Wow, this is actually like really cool. It might be better to do this by myself after all." So basically, he sees that he's up against Ninomiya next, and he's like, well, they have a lot of long range fighters. My team doesn't really have a big advantage. I'll settle for a tie. I fucking love Mizukami.
Yeah, fake smug, but not really. I didn't get a smug.
No, neither did I.
From him, more just confident, like he knows, like, hey, I'm good at this. I'm not the greatest at everything, but I know what I'm doing here. Fuck you guys. To the rest of his teammates, by the way.
Yeah. Who are all doing their homework, which honestly probably is.
Yeah. To handle homework, nerds, while I play video games.
Well, I pound some noobs on my video game.
Drink this Mountain Dew.
And pound noobs.
Double XP.
I like your shirt, too.
Pop his bag open the Doritos.
I like your shirt. It's like, bleh. The hands. I'll take
it.
I'd wear that shirt.
Pretty cool.
Anyway, back to Suba's squad. They're like, damn. We got fucked up. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, the Katara is like, nah, range units gotta get nerfed. Fuck out of here. She's a real gamer, yo. You know, when they first showed us, she was playing her Game Boy.
Yeah.
I think this is my favorite character, man. Katara? I used to really shuffle between Kumo and Osamu, and I used to be like, man, I like everybody. He started to become my favorite, yo.
Yeah, Katori. Katori is me whenever I'm playing Madden. I'm like, this game's broken.
She's like just bitching because she's so salty about how they just lost. Everybody's just shell shocked.
Everybody's like, whoa, that was a great strategy that he employed. And Katori's like, no, the game's just broken.
Yeah, like the game's just dumb. It shouldn't work that way.
At some point, she calls the developer of this game a fucking idiot or something.
Yo, because people go in online, bro, when they talk about certain games and then be like, but bro, when people talk about Smash Bros, man, they violate because it's not the most technically sound game. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really put the most detail into it as they could have. So they go crazy, they go ham.
Yeah.
That's the character he's creating. Right there.
For sure. Okay, so Squad 7 is looking forward to their next battle. They don't really have a lot of time to absorb and really dissect what just happened to them. They have 300 seconds to really figure shit out. So, they figure, you know what, next time we'll just copy and paste Mizukami's plan, and we'll just go from there. And we just get a brief summary, brief summary of what happened over the next 4 matches. I'm not going to read them all, obviously, but they lost every single one pretty handily, too. I think like they never made it past 3 surviving members. They always got smoked, and their 5th match was the worst, second worst loss, because they lost. They only had 2 survivors by the end of it. And at that point, that's when Katori's like, these enemies are way overpowered, and I'm like, those are your players that you're playing against. Those are not computers.
She says something screwy. These enemies are way too over. Like, she's saying that shit, but trying to like still keep confidence that like, yeah, I'm not a scrub. I'm not a guy.
Yeah,
obviously something wrong with the game I'm playing.
Yeah, Sue was just like, any observations to report, and she's like, you mean besides the fact this game's dev is a grade A moron?
Yo, the way her face, and nigga says, besides that.
Yeah, besides that. So Osamu coming in with the clutch analysis.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, this is what I missed in World Trigger. It's been a while since Osamu got a big explanation moment where he explained exactly what happened. So basically, he's basically like, okay, so one of the things that we can improve on for sure is our communication issue. And Katori's like, who's got issues? And he's like, well, ever since our practice round, we run into trouble explaining to each other which target we're going for. And then we get a little example of Katori just saying, hit the closest energy. And Osamu was just like, closest to who? And hit the better example is like, hit the eastmost enemy. And Osamu was like, okay. So, basically all communication. One really cool way to do it is that he's asking the operator, Ui, to tag the enemies a little earlier before they've even ID'd who they are. That way they can assign numbers to them so they can make communication a little more simpler on top of that. Very smart.
Yeah, very basic, and it's something that people could overlook because it seems like it's complicated, but it's really not, and it just takes a few minutes of everybody kind of being on the same page. You know?
And this is what's so great about Osamu. Simple solutions, just like...
And what's great about World Trigger in general, it's not always about the big, smart, galaxy brain play, Sometimes it's just like, let's stick to the fundamentals. Let's take a step back, take a deep breath, and recalibrate ourselves. Yeah. And that's what Osamu constantly does, and that's what allows him to come with these, very straightforward ideas that everyone could understand and agree with.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it's really cool. I mean...
He's able to make that analysis a little bit quicker than most. And, I know I don't know if we all the way finished the chapter yet.
No, we didn't.
Not really. We didn't mention the special assignment.
No, we did not.
But that's like the very end.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say what I wanted to say.
Go for it.
There was a moment when Mokumo was kind of like, he didn't argue with Katori, but right before they went into the slew of L's, like, Katori was like, all right, let's switch up to the gunner strategy because that shit's way better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it smoked up, so we should use it too. And Osamu was like, I don't know about that. We're not really used to it. And she was just like, do you have a better idea? And he didn't have one at the time. She's like, good. So we're just going to go with what I said. And, Osamu said to him, I'm just going to go back to so I can quote it properly. He said, a new strategy out of the blue. No, it's fine. That is one, I think, I think going into this, we all kind of thought like, what are we going to see out of Mokumo? And we all had a lot of ideas. This is going to for sure be one of them. Mm-hmm. Him being able to be looser and quicker with his decision making. And you know who else is actually kind of the king of that? Your man, Kakazaki? Suwa.
Yeah.
Sua. He that's where it took me into the chapter to realize that is what separates Sua from Akumo, because they're both intelligent types. I thought because Sua kind of came off a certain way that he wasn't, but him and Akumo are like the same, like cut from the same cloth. They just go about things a little bit differently, and that's
Sua's very instinctual,
right, and that's what
Mikumo has to think things through.
Yeah. Sua is very
Mikumo
much
prefers to.
Sua is very much like he's a very decisive person, so he's just very, he's very instinctual. He's like very in touch with his gut, so he'll just be able to just like trust his gut
sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
but he lives with it. He understands that that's who I am. That's how I'm gonna make my decisions. And
on top of that, he's in a situation where he's like, up until this point, he's been like, we've seen him when he's had time to think and when he can. When he hasn't had to make those rash decisions. It's good that he can make those quick snap ones, but he's very versatile in that he can also kind of just like, even in the quiet moments, he could be like, okay, I got time. I don't need to really make gut decisions until I have to. Sua's is really growing here, and I've always liked Sua, but this is like a whole different side.
I have a theory.
They may learn that from each other. But yeah, as you were saying, Brian?
I have a theory on how this game is gonna go and how Sua Squad might develop. What I think is gonna happen is like whenever they want their game to have a different style, they're not gonna have it be like a collaborative thing. They're gonna have people individually play the game on their own. So that way, like when something comes up and they need somebody who's more analytical, they'll go with Mikumo or Osamu. And if they need somebody who's going to go balls to the wall and just rely on mechanical skill, they could go with douchebag girl, like
let Clover and Sua take the reins, since they're both more kind of like more dynamic, I guess, or more proactive in the decision making. So they can both switch the styles. Yeah,
they'll make it so that people can take turns playing the game, so that way it's not like people butting in on each other's heads and stuff.
Yeah, I don't even think this squad really conceived that only one person could play. I think Mizukami is probably the only one who's like, oh, I could play this game by myself entirely.
Probably.
So
I think that's for a good reason, but I'll get into that once we actually finish the chapter itself. I'll get those final thoughts up.
Yeah, we only got a couple pages left. They continue they actually map out the whole map, so they have a better understanding of their surroundings, which is pretty cute.
They name the locations too. That's something that they all on the same page about, like how they wrote behind the tower. You know what I'm saying? Which even if the map is flipped, and it's actually in front of the tower, you still know what behind the tower is referencing based on all the other references. It's just little cues that help keep everybody on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. And
makes the world a difference.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they're about to go into their break from matches in general. And that's when they get a special assignment that comes in. And the special assignment is basically, why did the matches of the B-Rank Wars pit 3 or 4 squads against each other instead of just 2? Think over the possible reasons as a team and compile your opinions and submit your response under 400 words due by March 18th, 6:30. So basically the same day, it looks like.
All right, when I tell you I read that shit and I got anxiety, like I had to do some fucking work. When I read that, I was like, oh my God. And then Couture was like, Jesus Christ. And I was like, right. Like, are you fucking kidding me? All this other shit is work already. You gonna give me a motherfucking essay to write? Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's what they asked, bro. Could you write me a 400-word essay? Yo, like, get the fuck out of here. I would have been bad.
It's got to be under 400 words.
Please write this shit for me, son.
It could be
do
under.
The math for you, bro.
It's under, so it doesn't have to be 400 words.
Oh, they're saying no more than 400. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See, that's how much anxiety I have. I couldn't even fucking. Halfway through, I started, losing my fucking mind and getting fake dyslexic and all that. So yeah,
forgetting how to read.
You guys know, 2 of my greatest fears: mayonnaise and writing essays.
So writing essays? I think you'd be good at writing essays.
Yeah, well, Guess we'll never find out, right?
No, I mean, if you want to write this essay, and then for the next time we cover World Trigger, you can give us your answer.
You know what? I'm not making any promises. How about that?
I mean, yeah.
We'll leave it at that. I'm not making no promises.
I just struck the fear of God within you. Why would I?
Under 400 words, I could write 20, bro.
I mean, that's fine.
The battles were cool, I guess.
That's not the answer. That's not even the question I was asking.
I know. But they said make your response 400.
That's true.
And it seems open-ended to me. You know how they say there's no right or wrong answers. You just got to write.
Yeah. That's true.
I remember them saying that. Dave, you remember them saying that? There's no right or wrong answers in English. You just write. Right.
Right.
See?
So basically...
We're all in unison here.
I agree with that. So basically the essay is due by 6:30 and the battle sims only they run till 7, so apparently they have to do both at the same time. At that point Osamu's like, I wonder, and Sua's also
he's not phased because he doesn't give a fuck. He'll write a whole report in 20 minutes probably.
He's like, yo, can I not play this game and instead write this report? That sounds like a fun time to me.
Wow, nice.
Ew, video games? You guys keep that shit. I'll write my essay right over here.
Like the way he put "I wonder" led me to believe that he's thinking of something more than just I wonder what the answer to the question is. So that was the same ideas I had too.
Yeah, it could be like, I wonder too. Or Suba is more like, oh, they're really doing us dirty here.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, bro, we got like a 30-minute break, and we got to do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like during this, basically that means they have no break.
No,
but yeah, special assignment 2.
Yeah, and that's where the chapter ends. I love these chapters of World Trigger. They were very fun. I had a great time reading them. I also wonder. I think like there's no coincidence that they're the bottom ranked team and they got a special assignment. I don't know. I feel like the point is that
remedial ass niggas. Math 99.
Yeah. I think like they literally gave them the special assignment, and it could be possible that none of the other squads got one.
Yeah, this is how makeup works because y'all niggas suck.
Yeah, you guys are really fucking up here. So I wonder how they're going to tackle this. I would like to think that they wouldn't tackle it in the same way Mizukami did, where they make one person do the game. I don't know. I feel like they've been building that Sua squad will come up with more unique solutions than every other group. I'm very fascinated to see how it goes. Do you guys have any thoughts about World Trigger?
Aside from 400 words and anxiety, yeah, I got a few thoughts.
Do you have 400 words of thoughts?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not counting.
I'm counting.
I'm not writing it down.
Let's go.
So, all right. In regards to this guy playing the game by himself, I'm just not gonna look at that side. In regards to the dude playing by himself, the game is not meant to be played that way. Now, I don't think that there's going to be negative repercussions for him per se, because this is World Trigger and everything they're doing is being documented, and this is one of those situations where it's like they want to see what conclusions people come to organically. That's what they're analyzing. That's the whole point, that they're testing and seeing how people react to certain situations, and it could turn out that maybe Kakizaki should really be an operator more than anything else, and he'd probably be the goddamn best one since he was able to coordinate all these other talents so well with just himself. However, I do not agree that is the superior way to go about it, because the point is for them to learn on the go, in my opinion. I think that is the ultimate goal of this test, that it's not so open-ended. It's really, can you learn to work with these new people in a totally new system? Not totally new, because at least they have the ease of it. At least, their abilities, they know. You know what I'm saying? It's related. Like, they may not have Chica's cannons, you know what I'm saying? But she probably has a weapon that does big enough damage for it to represent that. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's what I think is going on here. testing everybody's teamwork and how they can improve together. You know what I'm saying? Like on the spot. Because these aren't teams that came together because people were friends or they thought, oh, I like your talents. You know what I'm saying? That's the dynamic that's being tested specifically in these battle simulations.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get reprimanded. I think he's going to get in trouble, but they're going to be like, hey, by the way, just because we're reprimanding you doesn't mean you shouldn't be a captain in this situation or, be a commander. Yeah. I think that's what's going on here with that.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get reprimanded. I feel like this is very much a first stage of the tuning
Not by
exams.
his own teammates? You don't think so?
Maybe not. No, not by his own teammates. I don't know.
You don't think? Well, if they don't find out.
Oh,
maybe,
I don't know.
What if they do
his own teammate.
Yeah,
maybe.
I would be.
I was thinking in terms of the.
saying?
I was thinking in terms of the proctors, like the people who were watching over them and whatnot.
I mean, yeah, but I guess, like I said, they're just kind of looking to see how people are gonna react to shit anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they would be. I guess that's the way I kind of said it, as if the higher ups would reprimand him. But I meant he might get yelled at his team, but the higher ups might be like, nah, yo, we see your talent. Fuck these scraps.
Yeah, no.
I would have did something.
Yeah, I feel like this whole thing is just like a first stage of the tuning exams for everybody.
He's cheating though. I think he's playing the game unintended though. That's
what I'm saying is that like in Naruto, the whole point was like, can you cheat good? And like it doesn't matter whether it comes from you or you got the answers from something else. It's I think this whole test is about adaptability and flexibility in terms of leadership or in terms of being a team player. Can you work well with different people? Can you survive in different environments? Can you get out of your comfort zones? What if all of your skills don't apply to a certain thing? Can you still find a way to be a useful member of your squad?
Right.
These are
Can you serve a role?
Yeah.
You're right.
Can you serve a role greater than yourself? Like that lies within you, where you usually serve. Because a lot of the way mission is the traveling, I imagine, because this entire test takes place inside the ship, a theoretical copy of the ship that you'll be riding in for pretty much the entire ride. So I'm sure they really do have to put in a lot of thought into vetting who would be useful in a situation where they are not in their most comfortable areas, whether it's skill-wise or just among people that they're not used to dealing with. So it's very interesting, and then when you think about it that way, it's a very philosophical, interesting way to test people and aptitudes in certain things. Maybe squads will shift because they're not taking full squads in some cases. Sometimes they might be taking individual agents. I can see Mizukami just immediately being brought on board. Or not so. I think it's one way or the other. They either really like him or they won't like him at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. That's all my thoughts. Oh, is that? I thought you were going to say something else.
Oh no. You basically kind of caught on while I was essentially ending my point anyway. So that was it.
Well,
about like, I just think that I don't think that that's like a strategy that like I guess mostly is that I disagree with what Brian said, but more so because I think that there is an actual direction and point to these simulations more so as opposed to all the other stuff, which is do whatever you want. We're gonna just point you based on the decisions you're making and stuff.
Yeah,
I think this is the only thing that's actually like a dedicated for sure system.
Yeah.
Like that's like concrete and everyone could know like what they're doing wrong.
Yeah, agreed.
Based on L's, and cheating.
But all right, any final thoughts, Brian? Before we move onward?
No.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, that was World Trigger. And that has been our show.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you guys so much for listening. Very much appreciated. We missed you. That's why we did a little bit of a long one, because we missed you so much.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back to do an AmCom probably sometime over the weekend or whatever. We'll be back Manga Monday, perhaps. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh at JDCole_37 on Instagram. At NYChillin on Twitter. Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. And follow him at twitch.tv/It's Punchline. Watch him play video games. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk to us about, or you can hit us up directly on our Instagram and Twitter at newjumpcity. Hit us up on Twitter especially because we do a really good chapter of the week poll that you guys can partake in and let us know what you thought about the chapters. I think that's it. Oh, subscribe to us on all of the things, whether it's YouTube, please do that. Like, share on YouTube. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora. I don't think I said that in the opening, but there you go. If you prefer audio podcasts, we are pretty much everywhere you listen to podcasts. And yeah, that's all. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you soon on New Jump City.
Peace out, y'all. Thanks for listening.